Well, we need to circle back on something that we didn't cover on the show. We touched on it very briefly, but this Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders thing from the other night on CNN, I found it to be fascinating. I found it to be really, really fascinating, but for different reasons than most people found it fascinating. Now, yes, candidates are going to bicker back and forth. Do you know what that means? No, it doesn't mean that they hate each other. No, it doesn't mean that Elizabeth Warren, who's lied about everything under the sun for her entire life, suddenly, feels like an oppressed woman. She's a millionaire, a United States senator. Let's tap the brakes on that. Doesn't mean any of that. When candidates start bickering like that, when candidates start fighting, it means they're fighting for the same lane within their primary. Elizabeth Warren very early on went hard left with her Medicare for all insane stuff. Bernie Sanders, as you may have seen, owns the hard left, makes no apologies about the fact that he's a socialist and he wants people standing in bread lines. So that didn't leave Elizabeth Warren many places to go. On top of the fact, Bernie Sanders, I know you're going to think this is weird, kind of endearing. He's kind of likable. And don't get me wrong, I can't stand commies. I can't stand Bernie. But you would sit down and have a beer with Bernie Sanders with his messed up hair. I mean, you'd have to sit back because he'd probably spit on you or something. But it'd be okay. He'd be honest about it. You definitely have to pay for the meal, you know that. But Bernie'd be fine. Elizabeth Warren is a feminist. Comes off like a feminist. With the wide eyes at all time and the lecturing and the voice that sounds like she's being strangled. There's nothing appealing about that. Nobody looks at Elizabeth Warren and thinks, I'd like to kick back and have a whiskey with her. Looks awful, right? So that also hurts Elizabeth Warren. Not only does Bernie have the far left lane, he has the personality in that far left lane. It doesn't give Elizabeth Warren much room to inch her way in. So what happened? Well, the Elizabeth Warren campaign, don't kid yourself, this came from the Elizabeth Warren campaign. They leaked something before the debate that, a long time ago, Bernie Sanders told Elizabeth Warren, of course, in a private meeting, no witnesses, just those two, told Elizabeth Warren that a woman couldn't be elected president. Now, let's explain something here, people. Somebody said earlier today, and I forget his name, so I'll just take all the credit for it myself. Somebody said that Bernie Sanders is so painfully honest, he said that murderers sitting in prison should be able to have a vote. That's true. Bernie Sanders is honest. Frankly, he's too honest. One of the best qualities about Barack Obama, if you're somebody who wants to advance the left-wing agenda, was he knew how to campaign like a moderate and then govern like a radical. Well, Elizabeth Warren, even if you're an Elizabeth Warren fan, nobody's going to accuse her of having too much honesty. She is inauthentic. That's just who she is as a person. Her positions change day by day. Whoever she's pandering to, that's what she's doing. She's lying about that meeting. I don't assume that. I pretty much know that. Elizabeth Warren is lying about the meeting. But here's where it gets interesting, and here's where I get intrigued for the reasons why. They had a debate on CNN. By anybody's measure, CNN has become a far-left network. They just are. It's rage against Trump all day, praise the Democrats all day. That's what they become. And I have several friends on that network. They would probably agree with me in private, of course. But that's what they've become. But why would CNN try to knife Bernie Sanders in the back on behalf of Elizabeth Warren? So many people were asking that question after the debate. Listen to this exchange. I'm sure you've seen it already, but listen to this exchange and how CNN chose to frame this.
Senator Sanders, I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
I disagreed. Bernie is my friend, and I am not here to try to fight with Bernie. But look, this question about whether or not a woman can be president has been raised, and it's time for us to attack it head on. And I think the best way to talk about who can win is by looking at people's winning record. So, can a woman beat Donald Trump? Look at the men on this stage. Collectively, they have lost 10 elections. The only people on this stage who have won every single election that they've been in are the women, Amy and me.
Again, that's not authentic, by the way. Elizabeth Warren doesn't feel oppressed. Elizabeth Warren isn't, out there, only the women are great. This is all self-serving crap. Support me, don't support the men. That's all that is. Again, and it doesn't even come across as that authentic. It just comes across as unlikable. But I found the questioning from CNN amazing. To go that in the tank. Bernie, did you say this or didn't you say it? No, I didn't say it. Elizabeth, so when he said it, what did you think? I mean, what are you thinking? But it actually got even worse. And now I think something very strange is afoot in the halls of CNN. They had this testy exchange after the debate. Everyone saw the video of it, of course. Initially, everyone saw Elizabeth Warren approach Bernie Sanders. He sticks his hand out. She holds her hand back. You can clearly tell she's doing the feminist, why didn't you clean the dishes type thing. Bernie, of course, probably spits on her a little on accident and walks away. All we saw was the video. Then CNN did something that I found shocking. They leaked the audio. These candidates, when you agree to do a debate for a major network, CNN is a huge network, you agree to put on the microphone, stand up there, have a debate. But those agreements come with at least a quiet understanding that things I say when the cameras are off, you don't publish those things. That's no different than the bitter ex-wife publishing a bad text exchange with her and the ex-husband. That doesn't happen. This isn't something that's normal. This isn't something we should ever normalize, but it shows you, ladies and gentlemen, within the halls of CNN, Bernie Sanders doesn't have very many friends. I want you to watch this. CNN chose to leak this.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now. You want to have that discussion? We'll have that discussion. You called me. You told me. All right, let's not do it now.
I don't want to get in the middle of it. I just want to say hi, Bernie.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Not only did CNN leak that audio, I think Elizabeth Warren knew CNN was going to leak that audio.